Something called Rose BC was playing the vinyl. Angel Reese participates on the team that was wearing the green jersey. I would assume that's the vinyl. I don't know about you guys, but I have never seen a green rose before, but who in the hell knows? With Unrivaled being dedicated to diversity and equity, maybe their roses are choosing to identify as green even though they are clearly red. The roses were not the only thing red last night. I'm sure there were some red faces in the crowd caused by uncontrollable laughter, as the crowd of dozens of people witnessed Angel Reese once again struggle to make routine layups.
I can't wait to work with you some more. The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups, period. Like, we're going to fix that. Yeah. That's fixable for you. And I think that's probably the biggest.
Angel Reese just gave her haters the easiest W of their lives. We're talking about layups so brutal, they need their own FBI investigation. After all that talk about being her, Reese just launched a shot like she was aiming for orbit. Meanwhile, Layup is casually turning half-court shots into free throws. So, did Reese's latest brick parade finally end the debate? Or is this just more fuel for the never-ending war between Clark stans and Reese defenders?
If you will. And so I'm not wearing a hat right now, but my coaching hat is on because
Angel's going to have to fix that layup problem if she wants to keep talking smack. It is hard to run your mouth the way that she runs her mouth when she couldn't hit water if she fell out of a boat when she gets in the paint. I've never seen anybody who is at least celebrated or considered to be a great basketball player who can't hit 50% of their layups.
You know what it almost looks like? You know when a player tries to act like they're fouled and they just flail? That's what all of her layups looks like. She's just flailing. Like whether there's somebody in front of...
Angel Reese. The self-proclaimed queen of the court, the master of mean mugs, the undisputed champion of missed layups? Oh, you read that right. The internet's favorite basketball villain is back at it again, providing comedy gold in the form of flubbed finishes, fumbled footwork, and a highlight reel that looks more like a blooper reel. And guess what? The haters, the very same ones she's been trying to prove wrong, are having the last laugh. Turns out, maybe they were onto something all along.
A few of these, because this is some wild stuff, man. This is some wild stuff. So let's check out. Here we go. I'm gonna let this roll. Hits the bottom of the rim. Hits the bottom of the rim. And I'll show that on another one, I think, because here, I don't think we got it. I think I have another clip lined up. She hit the bottom of the rim there too, and then that never even gets it. Doesn't hit the rim. Barely hits the rim.
Picture this. Angel Reese standing wide open, poised to make a statement. A routine layup that every professional basketball player, heck, every high schooler should make in their sleep. And then, disaster. The ball smacks the backboard with all the grace of a brick being hurled out of a moving car. The rim shudders in horror as the shot clanks off the iron, a tragic tribute to everything wrong with the fundamentals of the game. But wait, it gets better. Not content with just one catastrophic miss, she doubles down. Another shot, another embarrassing flop. At this point, it's not a basketball game. It's a live-action reenactment of what not to do in the WNBA.
That doesn't mean that next year that she's not gonna be able to get a coach to be able to learn how to lay up and finish at the rim. But right now, she's one of the worst finishers I've ever seen in basketball. I've seen kids at the high school level finish better than her. She's a grown-ass woman. Take that Reese's Pieces money that you're getting and go get yourself a layup coach. Go get somebody's failing you.
Yeah.
Somebody's failing you.
Wow.
It's horrible.
And NBA 2K had the nerve to have a graphic where she's taking a step back three when they tried to
step back three. I would love to know what her 2K stats are. Her close range gotta be on a 38. It gotta be.
Yeah.
There's no way you can have a close range anywhere close to 78. It gotta be about 35 or so. She can't score.
Nuts.
So let's stop all of this comparison shit.
Yeah, that's what needs to stop.
This needs to stop right now. Layup is here. Angel Reese is down here in the basement.
And these aren't just a few bad moments. A recent compilation video surfaced showcasing over 8 minutes of Angel Reese doing what she does best, missing layups. The video highlights 13, yes, 13 times where she didn't just miss, but failed to even hit the rim. She's currently shooting a laughable 40.2% from the field, and get this, she's making only 13% of her shots from 5 to 9 feet. That's not bad. That's historic levels of awful for a forward who thrives in the paint. Of course, the apologists rush to her defense.
The dude on the internet who cracks me up, or on TikTok, he's put together a shitload of Angel Reese clips, and it'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup, she misses, bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest shit. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean.
That's it. She's still young. She's learning. It was just one bad game. Oh, please. This isn't some unlucky fluke. This is a pattern. A highlight reel filled with missed shots, clunky footwork, and absolutely zero self-awareness. You'd think after all the trash talk, all the taunting, all the smug victory laps, she'd at least have the skills to back it up. But nope. Every game is a fresh opportunity to prove her critics absolutely right. And let's talk about those comparisons. Because somehow, someway, there are still people, bless their delusional little hearts, who try to put Angel Reese in the same conversation as Caitlin Clark. Yes, the Caitlin Clark. The walking bucket. The long-range assassin. The woman who could hit a logo 3 in her sleep while blindfolded. Now, before the pitchforks come out, let's be clear. Angel Reese is a great player, a dominant rebounder, a defensive force. She has that dog in her, no doubt. But comparing her to Caitlin Clark, that's like comparing a Tesla to a rocket ship. One is impressive, efficient, and stylish, but the other is literally launching into the stratosphere.
But I gotta admit, I didn't see the latest greatest hits of missed layups, the missed layups clinic that Angel Reese put on from last night's game.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a great scorer. She's a generational talent. She doesn't just shoot, she makes nets cry. Defenses game plan for her, and she still drops 30 like it's a casual Tuesday. You give her an inch, and she takes a mile. Well, technically, she takes 35 feet and a splash. She's the type of player who casually pulls up from the parking lot, and the defense just stands there like, what are we supposed to do with that? Meanwhile, Angel Reese? She's a beast on the boards, an enforcer in the paint, and the queen of putbacks. But let's be real, her offensive game is built on hustle, not range. She's not stretching defenses to the moon. She's not bending reality with impossible shots. She's not warping the entire defensive scheme just by stepping over half court. Caitlin Clark is a gravitational force, an offensive black hole where the ball disappears and reappears in the basket before you even realize what happened.
Caitlin Clark is just too good for the WNBA. Look at this right here. The defender's going to be a little bit late to switch coming off a ball screen. Look at how this is 5 steps beyond the three-point line. There's not even much airspace. Look at that. That's almost a logo 3. You're late to switch, ever so slightly, splash. Now Caitlin Clark's just going to put this defender on skates. She's got a full head of steam downhill. The defender's playing off her back foot. So you're going to fake like you're taking a step back 3. That gets that defender to have to leave her feet. So now I've got the angle to get to the middle of the floor with the defender now off balance. Right here, she has to use her hands, so now Caitlin Clark can fake like she's going to the middle of the floor, spin off with the defender off balance, and that's just an easy layup, and one. This is just unbelievable right here. This is off a made basket. The Mercury are ever so slightly late to get back. This defender right here is going to stop and stare at the inbounder. Diana Taurasi is going to be lazily getting back. So look at Caitlin Clark. Just get this, and she's gone. In transition, downhill. So now you've created a numbers advantage. Brittany Griner's stuck in a 2-on-1.
And let's talk numbers. Because when people try to force this debate, they conveniently ignore the raw stats. Caitlin Clark isn't just leading the nation in scoring, she's putting up video game numbers. She's dishing out assists like she's running a charity drive. She's shattering records like they were made of glass. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's impact is undeniable, but her game is built differently. She's elite at what she does, but what she does isn't rewriting the sport. The real kicker? Caitlin Clark makes basketball look unfair. She's the type of player who will light you up for 40 points, then hit you with a polite good game afterward. She's the nightmare coaches lose sleep over, the kind of talent you only see once in a blue moon.
Caitlin Clark, 28 and 12, winning on the road with Kelsey Mitchell, the absolute truth. I'm sitting there like, oh my God. But she's so crafty. This is what people don't know about Caitlin. She's not just a three-point shooter. She's a great passer, not a mediocre passer, not so-so. She is a great passer, but also she's crafty. I saw her get the ball, lay it up on the back door cut, like they waiting for her to pop out to the three-point line. Boom, she slips.
And let's be honest, if Caitlin Clark played in the NBA three-point contest, she'd probably cook some of those guys too. Imagine Steph Curry and Caitlin Clark going shot for shot. That's not just must-watch TV, that's history in the making. Angel Reese? She's an elite competitor, a fiery personality, and an absolute force in her own right. But comparing her to Caitlin Clark is like comparing a great action movie to an Oscar-winning masterpiece. They're both entertaining, but one is redefining the genre. So let's stop forcing this narrative. Let's appreciate Angel Reese for what she is, a dominant inside presence, a rebounding machine, and a fierce competitor. But let's also acknowledge that Caitlin Clark is playing a different sport entirely. She's not just a great player, she's an era-defining, shot-making, highlight-reeling, gravity-defying legend in the making. And if you can't see that, well, bless your heart.
Yeah, she's displaying some skill right now that's like, and she moving fast. Like it look like she don't look like, it look like everybody on that court is way slower than her when she get into her stuff. I remember watching her when she was a summer going into her senior year. I was in Chicago for 3 days for Girls AAU Nationals. Yeah, her team from Iowa, like they played together so smooth, but she was always leading that. She always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. I was like, who the hell is this? She is nice. It was like, oh, she's the best player in the country. I was like, oh, damn. I see it now. Like, you know, like when you walk in and you don't even know who anybody is, and they just be like, yo, that's the best player in the country.
But Angel Reese isn't just a basketball player. Oh, no. She's an entire spectacle, a brand. A self-made movement fueled by social media antics, viral moments, and a relentless ability to keep her name in every conversation. She's built an empire off of bravado, strutting, taunting, talking big. But when it comes time to back it up on the court, the results? Well, let's just say they don't quite match the hype. She thrives on drama, feeding off the controversy like it's her pregame meal, but when the pressure is on, she's often missing in action. The game could be spiraling out of control, her team drowning in a double-digit deficit, and yet, there she is, standing at half-court, waving her hand in an opponent's face like she's already won it all. At this point, her most iconic moves aren't even basketball plays, they're hand gestures. Because while others let their game do the talking, Angel Reese, she just talks. There's an art to trash talk. It's not just about running your mouth, it's about having the game to back it up. The true legends of basketball understood this balance. Michael Jordan talked, but he made sure you felt every word with a dagger three or a mid-range fadeaway in your face. Kobe Bryant? He didn't need to say much because his work ethic alone was a warning shot.
Angel Reese had Dejanay Carrington on her show, and they was talking about, you know, possibly if they can't get more money that they, this was Angel. I don't know who Angel represent, right? But she was basically saying that if they don't get more money, that they was going to go out on strike.
Well, you know what? If Angel Reese don't make a layup, I think we need to go out on strike and not watch it.
Even Caitlin Clark, who keeps her trash talk to a minimum, lets her game speak louder than anything she could say. Then there's Angel Reese. She talks first, flops later. Every game, it's like watching someone cut the greatest wrestling promo of all time, full of confidence, fire, and attitude, only for them to trip over their own shoelaces before even stepping into the ring. She sells the hype, but when the lights shine the brightest, the results don't always match the energy. Trash talk without execution is just noise. It turns from intimidation into comedy. It's one thing to flex after blocking a shot, but it's another when that same energy disappears the moment the game gets tough. The best players talk their talk and walk their walk. Angel Reese? Right now, she's doing a lot more walking than delivering. And until she starts backing it up consistently, all that talking will sound a lot more like wishful thinking than legendary confidence. And speaking of flops, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer theatrics. Because if there's one thing Angel Reese excels at, it's turning the most minor contact into an Oscar-worthy performance. A light tap? That's a full-body collapse as if she just got trucked by a linebacker. A gentle nudge? Suddenly, she's sprawling across the floor like she just got hit with a WWE finishing move, arms flailing in dramatic agony, searching desperately for a foul call that, shocker, never comes.
I want to get better. That's what it's about. The fact that you already had that attitude, you're going to get better, and I can help you get better. I'm positive.
So Lisa Leslie bending over backwards, trying to put a positive spin on this, but she did her best, but I tend to think this is a tiny bit embarrassment that someone that considers herself the face of the WNBA, the second biggest star in the WNBA, and she needs remedial work on shooting layups. Good look, bad look, this whole conversation.
I mean, cue the Muttley laugh. I mean, could you imagine a baseball player talking to like a Hall of Famer? I can't wait to work with you, and we're gonna really work on you catching the baseball. We're just gonna play catch. We're gonna start off underhanded, okay? We go real soft.
At this point, she might as well enroll in acting classes because the basketball fundamentals clearly aren't working out. The free throw percentage is shaky, the shooting mechanics are questionable, but the ability to hit the floor like she's been sniped from the rafters? Truly elite. If Hollywood ever needs a new stunt double, Angel Reese might be the first pick. Maybe she can even take a page out of LeBron James's book and master the art of selling calls with impeccable timing. But hey, credit where it's due. Flopping is a skill in itself. And in the WNBA, where the refs don't seem too impressed, she might just have to start actually making shots instead of just selling fouls. What makes all of this even funnier is the ever-growing fan club that refuses to acknowledge reality. Every time she bricks an easy shot, the excuses flow like an over-caffeinated PR team scrambling to save face. She was tired. The refs are against her. The ball must have been deflated. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out there casually draining deep threes with a defender draped all over her, making it look as easy as a warm-up drill. One of these players is the future of basketball. The other? A walking meme factory, providing endless content for highlight reels of what not to do. And yet, the delusion persists. Every off night, every inefficient performance, every embarrassing moment is somehow spun into a victory by a fan base that has completely lost touch with reality. They'll praise her grit while conveniently ignoring the missed layups. They'll talk about her heart while overlooking the air balls.
Just always, it's like she has no control of her body. It's actually really bizarre to watch. Like, it's hard to believe that she's actually that bad at.
They'll call her a leader while she's too busy flailing around looking for fouls that don't exist. At some point, you'd think maybe, just maybe, Angel Reese would take a step back and reflect, work on the basics, develop a reliable shot. Maybe, dare we say it, learn a thing or two from players who actually dominate the game instead of just talking about it. But that would require self-awareness, and if there's one thing Angel Reese doesn't have, it's self-awareness. Instead, she doubles down. More talking, more antics, more over-the-top celebrations after making routine plays. It's as if she's more concerned with the theatrics than the actual game. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just keeps proving why she's different, why she's special. While one player is building a legacy, the other is just making noise. So here we are. Another game. Another embarrassing sequence of flubs, another round of excuses from the diehard supporters who refuse to admit what's painfully obvious. Angel Reese is not that girl. She never was. And at this rate, she never will be. She may have convinced herself, and a very loud portion of the internet, that she's the next big thing, but basketball doesn't care about clout. The scoreboard doesn't care about social media hype. The rim doesn't care about attitude. And when it comes down to it, when the game is on the line, when real skill is required to rise above the noise, Angel Reese does what Angel Reese does best, flops, literally and figuratively.